What's going on, guys? Back with another video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I just kind of want to drop some knowledge on you guys today. The main reason I created this channel is because I want to help other resellers, but lately I've just been going out and getting a bunch of inventory and showing you guys what I'm picking up, which is great. I mean, that's helpful because you can take notes and like have items to be on the lookout for. But I also want to tell you ways to increase your sales no matter where you're at in your business. Whether you have one thing listed on eBay or 0 things listed, or you have 10,000 things listed on eBay. But let's get started. So I'm going to tell you 10 different things that I've wrote down to help you increase your sales on eBay or drive traffic or anything that's going to help your store overall. The first of those things is simple: buy items that are selling. So when we're first getting into reselling, we might not understand markets, but there's a really good way to figure out if things are selling, right? So if I'm at a yard sale and I look up, let's say it's a certain brand of CD player with like a boombox. We'll say it's a boombox. So I can look up the Sony model number boombox. If I see 25 listed and 25 sold, that's 100% sell-through rate 90 days. And a lot of people don't think about this, and it took me years to learn this and actually implement it into my own business. So what you want to do is just check your active listings versus sold comps. You want to see a good sell-through rate. You want to see a lot of the items that are being listed being sold. Now if I ran that same search, I saw that there was 25 active and only 1 sold or 2 sold. That tells me that I'm gonna have this item forever. This is a slow market, and that's the kind of item I would pass up on. So in the future, just remember that you want to buy items that are selling, and that's the best way to check the market for sell-through rate. Number 2, you need to have excellent customer service. So what I mean by that is you treat every single customer that messages you the way you want to be treated. That's basically excellent customer service in a nutshell. I don't care how mad you are at these people, you need to message them in a very professional manner. And like there's plenty of times where I'm cursing out the screen as I'm sending a very nice message. And the reason I say this is because there's so many times that you'll be going back and forth with a buyer, and then the issue needs to get escalated to get eBay involved to come to some kind of solution. So when you do that, when you get eBay involved, whether it's a return or a difficult buyer that's trying to force a return on you or something along those lines, eBay's going to review not only the return, they're going to read the back and forth between you and that buyer. So they're going to read every message and everything you say. So if you're name calling and being immature and unprofessional, it's not going to look well for you, and it's not going to bode well in your case. You want to be the one who looks like you're being professional. You're trying to do everything you can to help that buyer and resolve the issue. Whenever eBay sees this, they're going to side with you 9 out of 10 times. I've had dozens of negative feedbacks removed. I've had a lot of issues resolved just by calling eBay and explaining my situation. They go back and read our back and forth messages. And sometimes the buyers are cursing me out or calling me names or being, just absolutely ridiculous. And that bodes well for me when I finally contact eBay and have them look over everything. Number 3, promote your items. What I mean by that is, a lot of you, I'm sure you know, eBay runs promotional tools. You can promote your items at 1% to all the way up to, I don't even know how high it goes, because personally I've never promoted over 1.2%. You can promote a very low amount, like 1% to 2%. And that's just going to get you increased exposure, increased traffic. Now personally, I only go in like once every 30 or 40 days and promote items. So anything that's newly listed, I'm not going to promote. I'm promoting items that have been listed for, let's say, 30 days or more. And that just gives them another bump in the search results, because once an item's been listed for that long, it kind of falls down anyway with the algorithm. So another way to get that bump back up with the algorithm is to promote your listing. Number 4, lower prices. So whenever I list things, I'm always put them at an asking price, what I feel is like competitive within the market. If I look up an item and I see that it's selling between $70 and $100, and I have one in really good condition, I'm gonna list it at like $89, $85, kind of towards the higher end of what that market sells for, because I have a very well-established account. So I know that buyers will potentially pay that because it's still a fair market price. That being said, if the item hasn't sold through in maybe like 2, 3, 4 weeks, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to drop the price from 89 to 85. And then a couple weeks later, I'm going to drop it from 85 to 79. What I'm trying to do is obviously, push that item out the door. I want to get that item sold as quickly as possible. And one of the best ways to do that is just lower the price. If you have any watchers on an item, anytime you lower a price, they're going to get notified that the seller lowered this price by $5 or lowered this price by 10%, things of that nature. So it's kind of like eBay's going to go the extra mile to try to push that item out the door for you as well, just by you lowering the price. So that's a good tool to use. Obviously, you want to go in and manage your active listings every once in a while. Some people are a little too anal about it and they manage their active listings way too much, in my opinion. I'm more, I want to focus more on getting new quality items listed, but it also is very imperative that you go back and manage those listings at least once every 2 to 4 weeks. 5. Run markdown sales. That's one of the best tools on eBay, in my opinion, and it drives a lot of traffic, drives a lot of sales. The algorithm seems to like it. I have like 800 and something items listed, so when I run these sales, I think you can do up to 500 items per sale. I'll pick 500 items out of my store and I'll put it on like a 10% off sale for, let's say, like 30 or 40 days. So by doing that, I'm just driving an extreme amount of traffic. The algorithm seems to like it and give it bumps. Every time I do that, I get an influx of sales for the next several days because all these items, 500 of my items just went 10% off. All the watchers are getting notified. It's just a better deal all around. So when people are searching through search results, instead of my item being $89, now it's $79 or $80. So it just makes it a little bit better deal for the people that are out there shopping around. And if the item hasn't sold in 3, 4, 5 weeks or 3, 4, 5 months, it's pretty evident to me that it might be priced a little on the high end. So now it's time to bring the price down and try to get that item out the door. Number 6, send offers to watchers. This is probably my favorite tool that eBay has implemented over the past few years. I probably get 10 or 15% of my sales from sending offers to watchers. So you want to try to do this like at least 2 or 3 times a week. And if you've done this in the past and it hasn't worked, don't give up on it. That's no reason to not use something because it didn't work the first couple times. I'm telling you from experience that this works tremendously well. So use that every time the eBay app tells you that you have X amount of items that you can send offers on. Send offers on every item that you're willing to, take a little baby price cut on. Now, if it's an item I just listed like yesterday, I'm less inclined to send an offer. But if it's something I've had listed for several weeks or several months, I'm definitely sending out the offers and trying to push that item out the door. Number 7, source often. You need to be out there sourcing as often as possible. It's very important that you're out there sourcing. That's how you're going to drive traffic to your eBay store. That's what the algorithm likes. The only way you're going to be able to list often is if you're sourcing often. Unless you have a huge death pile that you're working from, then I recommend maybe taking a week off sourcing. But I'm out there sourcing every week, multiple times a week. Obviously, I'm full-time, so I'm listing dozens of items a week too, so I'm kind of keeping up with myself. But when I very first started and I had less than 100 listings, I still went to an auction every Wednesday and every Sunday, and I did that for weeks, and I did that for months and months, probably a couple years. And after that time period, I had built an well-established business, and I had hundreds and hundreds of listings instead of just dozens of listings like when I started. The way I did that was by diligently sourcing and going out there every week, and I never gave up. I just put in the time, work, and effort. That's what it takes to be successful in this business. Time, effort, work, sacrifice, all those things that a lot of people don't like to do, or that they tend to give up when the going gets tough. You got to ride out through the tough times and just trust the process and trust what I'm saying. You're sourcing often and listing often. It's going to drive sales. Eventually your sales are going to pick up. When the sales start to drop, just source, list, and I'm telling you, inevitably the sales will pick back up. Number 8, avoid death piles. We talked about death piles a little bit in this video so far. If you don't know what a death pile is, that's when you just keep buying and buying inventory, and then you start stuffing it in a corner somewhere or stuffing it on shelves, and then you say, hey, I'm gonna get back to that later. And then inevitably what happens is like weeks go by or months go by, and you have all this stuff that's accumulated that's not listed on eBay, but you're still going out sourcing. It's vitally important for you to clear up that space, not only for your physical and mental well-being, but to utilize that space for profitable items or items that are listed. You don't want just dead space in your work area, and you don't want a lot of items that aren't listed. They're not doing you any good. It's just cluttering up your life. So if you feel like that, or you're at that point in your business, definitely disregard step 7, which was source often, just for a little bit, and work on that death pile. And what inevitably happens is a lot of times when I'm working on my death pile, I find some gems in there that I didn't even know I had. I'll be like, dang, I thought this was worthless and it's worth $50. Or I'll be digging through a pile and I'll look up something and it'll be worth $100 and I didn't even realize what I actually had. So make sure you're clearing out those death piles, and as you do, donate certain items that aren't worth listing on eBay, or put items in a tote and mark it yard sale for your next yard sale, and then store those totes on a shelf or in your garage or somewhere that's out of your way and out of your work area to kind of clear that space and clear your mind. Number 9, we're almost done. We only got 10 things we're going to talk about today. Number 9 is very important. You need good photos, a solid description, and your item needs to be priced properly. If you're sourcing like a madman and doing a really good job and then you're neglecting these 3 things, then you're not going to be successful. You need to have good photos, for one, because the main thing that gets a buyer to click as he's scrolling through dozens and dozens or hundreds and hundreds of options is the main photo and your description. You need to have the right keywords so you're getting the traffic, and you need to have a really solid picture. And I always use a white background. I didn't always do that. I tried red backgrounds, blue backgrounds, black backgrounds. I did find out just along the way that like Google's algorithm prefers the white background. If you want your item to pop up in Google search results, you're going to need to have good solid pictures with the white background. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I'm sure there's some keyword hits that your item will still pop up. But when it comes to eBay, I feel like eBay still prefers the white background and their algorithm likes that. Don't hold me to that, but it's very important to take those solid good pictures, and don't just have 1 or 2 pictures of an item. Try to take at least 5 or 6 pictures. Like even if I'm selling a pair of sunglasses, when there's not much to a pair of sunglasses, you can kind of get the gist with 2 or 3 pictures. I also have 7 or 8 pictures in my listings. The majority of my listings have 9, 10, 11, or 12 pictures. So the photos are important. And then the longer your description is, the more eBay's algorithm likes that. So what you want to do is try to at least have a few solid sentences. Talk about any flaws you have. Talk about the condition of the item. Talk about just anything you can talk about with that without like being redundant or without spending too much time. And then pricing is so important. Like you want to look at what's actively listed, and then you want to look at what's sold, and then you want to come up with your price. So if I'm looking at actively listed, and let's say there's only 3, like it's a super rare item, and they're listed at 150, 200, and 250. Now I go to sold comps, and the sold comps are like 80, 100, and 120. That tells me that the 3 people that have their items listed are a little above the market value, which is probably why their items haven't sold yet. And then I look at these sold comps, I see all 3 sold comps are a little bit lower than the active listings, and the most expensive one was 120. So now what I'm going to do is price my item at like 125. So I'm higher than the recent sold comp. So that way if I run a markdown sale or send out an offer, I'm still getting like fair market value for my item. And not only that, I'm slashing the throats of the 3 other people that have the item listed on eBay. So now my newly listed item is going to be the most likely to sell out of the 4 that are listed on eBay, because oftentimes you will find a unique rare item when there's only 3 or 4 or 5 other sellers selling it. So you have a very small competition, which is good for you. But it says some things about that item. Sometimes they're harder to find. They might not sell as fast because they're just kind of a more rare, unique item. The very last thing, the most important thing of all, list, 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 list. As often as you can, list, list, list. Make drafts, list. As much time and effort as you can put into listing, do that. Obviously, everything else I said goes back to you listing or having listings on eBay. The only way you're going to do that is by actively listing, which goes back to number 7, which is source as often as possible so you have good quality inventory to list. And then we go back to number 1, you're buying items that are selling, you're checking the market before you purchase the items, and then you're doing everything else I said to drive traffic and get these items out the door. But that's really all I got today. I hope you guys picked up something from this video. I'm sure most of you guys already know a lot of these things or implementing these things, but hopefully you picked up something new that you can use in your business. If I forgot something in this video or there's something that you feel like you can add, please drop a comment below to help other people that might stumble across this video and read the comments. But as always, thanks again for watching, and subscribe to the video if you like these kind of videos. I'm a full-time reseller, so I just go out and buy stuff as often as possible to flip online. I also sell on Mercari and Amazon, but I would say like 90+% of my business is on eBay, so that's where I'm the most knowledgeable at, and that's why I try to share that information with you guys. Maybe in the near future I'll drop a Mercari video or an Amazon video. And if you guys like this kind of video, let me know that too. I appreciate all the feedback you guys have to offer. But yeah, that's all I got for today, and thanks again for watching, guys, and until next time, peace.